Hi, welcome everyone. It is the start of the virtual wedding show. We appreciate everyone coming and we're excited to be here. I'd like to thank the Rental and Decor breakout room, thank Idaho Tents and Events for supporting this. They are the sponsor. And first up, we have Pink Events and Mitchell. So I'm going to go ahead and let Mitchell take it away.
Hi, I'm Mitchell, and I own Pink Events Idaho. We specialize in creating happily ever afters. So all of the decor you see here is from our company, and we do provide all types of props. We also build props in-house. So if you see here we have the florals and the backdrop, they all come the way you see it here. So let's say you ask for a specific design and we work together and get a design and it turns out to be something like this. It comes with everything. So if you rent a backdrop from us, it'll come with the draping, the flowers, the chair covers, the sashes, the runners, everything that you see. So let's say I design something for you, I sketch something out for you, it usually looks exactly like the design with maybe one or two different things that might be different because all the designs change as you give me directions. All of our backdrops come stage complete. So if you ask for this specific backdrop and set, this is the backdrop and set that you will get. When we do our meetings, we begin our meetings with going to your venue. And then when we go to your venue, we actually assess and we create a layout for your current vendors that you have, which is your DJ and all of the food and any type of other catering and cakes. And we do a layout just to make sure that everything is in a specific position so you don't have your food next to the bathroom, things like that, because we also provide planning as well. Pricing varies. We would have to get together and sit and talk about let's say how many chair covers, how many guests, how many sashes you need, how many backdrops you need, and that usually creates a custom package for you. So that's why our pricing is always different depending on how big your event is or how small your event is. So your pricing will always vary. Like I said, everything comes stage complete. So we do create centerpieces, and all of the florals on here are also part of Pink. So we actually bring in everything as you see it here. And I think we're up for questions because I have no idea what else to say other than we bring the pretty.
Thank you, Mitchell. It looks gorgeous. Right now, there are no questions. If you want to share your contact information and how people can get in touch with you and any social media links that you have, that would be great.
Yes, so we have Facebook, obviously, and we also have Instagram. We have a .com, and they're all under Pink Events Idaho. So you can contact us through there, and then also my phone number, which is 208-919-2549, which you could also find also on our website and on our social media accounts. We actually have all types of fabrics and just all of our design are custom made. So everything that we have, usually when you go to our website or our social media, you'll find that none of the photos are the same aesthetic, mostly because everyone has their own type of design that they like. So we create, everything is custom, so no one's event ever looks the same because we don't have like that specific aesthetic. where all of the photos look like the same party, just different little things here and there. So if you're interested in having something custom and having something that is definitely you inside, then we can definitely help you with that.
Well, that is a beautiful setting and a job well done. I missed, did you provide your web address? Is
Yes,
that available?
our website is pinkeventsidaho.com.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Mitchell, for your time. We appreciate it. Your atmosphere looks lovely, and it's great to know that you customize for each and every bride.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, thanks for joining us. We are getting ready for our next session. It's Forget-Me-Not accents, and we will start in just a moment. We want to let you know that Idaho Tents and Events is sponsoring this breakout room, and we thank them for their time. Also want to let everyone know that all of our sessions are being recorded, so you'll have access to all of the presentations after this show today. We will be sending that as soon as it's available. And with that, I would like to welcome Forget-Me-Not accents. Just have them coming on right now. Hello, Susan.
Do the video on the bottom.
Tamara, welcome.
Get it? See, it's just gonna be.
It looks like you're unmuted, but I don't know that your video's on yet.
You cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. Tell her this is exactly what happened with the other gal. Now start my video. The lost.
Hi. Just unmute.
Hi, brides.
Hi, brides.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Tamara.
I'm Susan.
We prepared a video for you today.
Feel free to chat with us during the video and after.
Hey, ladies, sorry to interrupt, but I don't think we're hearing the audio. If you want to reshare again, like close out your share screen and restart again, make sure you hit that radio button that said the audio control. So stop share on your video. And then when you start it back up, share video over on the left bottom will be that audio part.
Hi, I'm Tamara with Forget Me Not
Perfect.
Accents. We're an event decor rental company. We're located in Caldwell, Idaho, and today we've set up a mock wedding show just so that we could show off some of our inventory that we have for rent. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'd really appreciate it if you would follow us. Also, you can check out all of our inventory on our website at forgetmenotaccents.com. Today, we're going to show off our whiskey barrels and our floral arrangements. Our whiskey barrels normally rent for $35 and our floral arrangements for $75. But today, for the virtual wedding show, we're renting these for $100 for the set. We also have our little shepherd hook and our, I guess you would call it a lantern. That's how we're displaying it today. It's called Fiona. If you look on our website, Fiona could also be a vase, also table decor for your centerpieces. But definitely look at our website. We have many accent pieces in our brass and glass and geometric. On our mantle, you'll see that we have brass candlesticks. Not only do we have brass candlesticks, but we also have wood candlesticks, glass candlesticks, and silver candlesticks. We have so much inventory. Please check out our website.
Hi, I am Caitlin with Forget Me Not Accents, and I am here just going to show you guys our sweetheart table. Now, sweetheart tables have become very popular, and they're definitely trending right now, and it's something that I would highly suggest that you consider having at your wedding. It's a perfect opportunity for you and your groom to have that intimate moment after the wedding ceremony, for your first dinner, or even just for your first piece of cake together. So for this virtual wedding show, we are going to do a special on our sweetheart table. So our special will be $100, and it's going to be for just this virtual wedding show today only. And that is your sweetheart table. You will get your choice of 2 chairs, and then it is $25 worth of accessories. And then if you'd like to add an arch, you could do that as well. But here we've got different candlesticks, and we've accented it with different lanterns. So these lanterns would be available. If you wanted to do this whole setup, you could choose to do that as well, and that would be for the $100. So we also have these velvet pillows that we want to kind of accent as well. And we have the napkins and the place settings. So this is, like, I want to stress, this sweetheart table is just a perfect accent for that big day for you and your groom, to really have that intimate moment together and just share that with each other. So we're going to move on to our Houston schoolhouse tables. Today we have them all set as if they were in a wedding. These are only $25 a piece, and they are a vintage schoolhouse table. And we've accented it with some wood candlesticks and just different cutlery and our different chargers. We have different styles of chargers. We've like galvanized. These ones are the wood look. And we also do runners as well for them. So if that's something else that you're looking for, we could also do runners. Just about anything that you see here, especially on the sweetheart table, we do offer. Like we said, follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and definitely check out our website, because all of our inventory is on there, and we have all of our pricing on our website. I'm Susan with Forget Me Not Accents. Here at our mock wedding, we've set up a lounge. And you can see this is more of a rustic style lounge that we have chosen for today with emerald and our Paxton chairs. Our new table rice, it's on our website. Today, we are actually offering a special with one sofa or settee and 2 chairs, any coffee table, any rug for $275. And it's a huge savings. You can choose any of our sofas, settees, chairs. You can look on our website. We have so many to look at and choose from. Today we have our Cannon rug, which is only one of, I believe, 4 or 5 rugs you could choose from. But it gives a more Western rustic look. The set or the package actually also includes $50 worth of accents. So you can choose any of your own pillows. We have different colors to choose from. We have different vintage items. We have a lot of candlesticks or whatever you want to add, but $50 of accents to add to your lounge package. I think it's so important to have a lounge at a wedding. I mean, not only does it give you a photo opportunity, but it also allows for seating for the more elderly guests. They can be comfortable. And we also, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. But we have a lot of colors to choose from. So this is an emerald green, but we have our sapphire blue. We have a beautiful white antique looking couch. But just check it out because I really feel like a lounge is something that's very important.
This is our bar package. Today only, you can get this bar package for $100. We have drink dispensers, we have our Chase wine decanters, we have a chalkboard, several little pieces that if you go on our website, we'll have everything listed and you can mix and match your items. So my partners and I are going to test out our little bar. Yes. Caitlin.
Thank you. I'd like to taste mine before the cheer.
Hi, it's Caitlin again. I also wanted to show you our workshop area. So this is an area that we like to invite our brides to come to so that they can envision and put together their own centerpieces or even their own sweetheart tables. This is a one-on-one free consultation to any bride or even anyone that is planning an event can schedule with us and we can walk them through the steps of putting together their centerpieces or their sweetheart tables. That way they can actually see our inventory in person and visualize it in person. Okay, ladies, thank you for coming in today. Today we are going to build centerpieces for your wedding tables. So the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna pick out the base that you would like, and then we can fill that base with other accents. So you can do a votive, you could also do a candlestick, or you could do a vase. We kind of recommend picking 3 things. It seems to be 3 things on a base is what seems to have the best flow and kind of look the most appealing. Okay, ladies, you can go ahead and pick out whatever base you'd like to use for your centerpieces.
I like this. What would you recommend with this?
For this one seems like more of a bohemian vibe. I would definitely recommend our Eris or our Paisley votive. They would definitely look really pretty on there. But you do have to keep in mind that it's just what what your style is and really what you want. This is your chance to be creative and to choose whatever you would like for your wedding. You kind of want to keep in mind the theme or the style of your wedding and kind of think of the serveware that you may be using or other sorts of lanterns or other props that you may use in your wedding. So you kind of want to keep that in mind when you're designing your centerpiece so that they all flow together. But really, it's your day and it's all however you want to make it. That's the important thing. How do you like that?
Yeah, that looks really good. Are we? It's not too much confidence for everybody.
It's really up to you. It's your centerpiece, so I think it's really pretty.
Okay.
So it's just completely up to you.
And do you normally put candles?
So you can put a candle in there if you'd like, so then you'd have another little votive, or you can do floral, or I can find you a bigger one.
You know, in your cute little white prism one right there, that could be full of flowers. You could use that for flowers instead of a candle.
That one? Oh, yeah. Okay.
That could be a little vase full of flowers.
Yeah, that'd be cute. The little circle. Oh,
What are you looking for?
Just like a little candle holder for on top of mine, because I have like the greenery, and then I have like a vase, and I want like a little candle.
So just like a votive? Like this? Ooh, can you see this one?
Maybe. Okay. Don't know that. No, but the
So do we want to put like a pillar on there, or do you
That's
want
what I said,
the
a pillar.
candlestick? Ladies, and that is how easy it is to create your own centerpieces for your big day. Pretty exciting.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you for following along with us today. We wanted to just show you a little glimpse of what our free consultations would look like. So hopefully you enjoyed that little bit that we did there for you. We're just excited to be a part of this virtual wedding show, this experience. It's a new experience for us all. So just super excited.
And don't forget to go on the website, check out all the specials that we offered through our virtual wedding show. There's a lot of new things on our website to check out. It's amazing the different choices that we have, and it's like different styles. Just check it all out.
And if there's anything that you're specifically looking for, let us know. We may have it. It may not be on our website right now, or we may be purchasing it in the future.
Might have it and not on the website.
Yeah,
yet.
exactly. So, just send us an email. You can chat with us right there on our website. So,
and you chat directly to us. Whenever you do that on our website, it is one of us straight, and we are there to answer any questions that you have.
And remember, we are on Instagram and Facebook, so please, please, please go and follow and like us on Instagram
Absolutely.
and on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah,
We'd love to see you there as well. We definitely like to post any of our new inventory on there, and loved hearing from you through Instagram and social media.
we enjoy helping all brides, with their special occasions, but we're not. Yeah, definitely. It's fun, and we want to make your day really special. So just come and look at what we have and put together what excites you and what you like for your wedding.
And yeah, again, and congratulations. 'Cause
Yes,
it's a
brides.
huge part of your life. It's going to be
Absolutely.
your best day ever.
Thank you for joining us today.
We just wanted to do one more final look through of our mock wedding ceremony. We hope you guys enjoyed seeing all that we have to offer. And this is just a little bit of what we can offer to you beautiful brides out there. We're so excited to work with you. I want to show you the ceremony seating, these gorgeous floral arrangements and wine barrels. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for letting us share that video with you. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us, contact us. We have our phone numbers on our website or our chat on our website.
Thank you, ladies. That was awesome. Great presentation. We're running short on time.
That's
if there's
fine. That's
questions
great.
to follow up, I will let you know.
All
Thank
right,
you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, our brides and attendees. I want to give a quick shout out to our rentals and decor room sponsor, Idaho Tents and Events. And next up we have coming, just a moment behind schedule, I'm sorry about that, is Bliss Events. So I'll take it away to Bliss.
Hi, Erin. Thank you so much for having us today. I'm Teresa Sandros, and I'm the founder of Bliss Events. We started in 2005, and we do event planning, and we do design and rentals. I'm going to introduce you to Monica on my left.
Hello, my name is Monica Hyde, and I have been event planning for over 15 years and have been with the Bliss team for 4.
Awesome. I'm Janae Cochran, and I've been with Bliss for 10 years now. Had a few years before that in a venue, and it's been a pleasure to be a part of the team for so long.
Great. So I asked Monica and Janae to come and just talk a little bit about the current climate and what we're kind of dealing with our current brides. So if you are a new bride that is thinking about having your wedding this year, I know you have a lot of questions of is it possible and how is it possible, and what kind of struggles might you face if you do commit to doing that. If you are a bride for 2021, we may or may not be dealing with these same issues. So I think it's still great information, but if you want a custom consultation, absolutely, you feel free to just give us a call and we can talk about that. But we're really going to focus our 20 minutes on just what options we have. I know a lot of people keep asking, like, well, what is everyone else doing? Mm-hmm. And I would say there's definitely not a norm. Mm-hmm. We say we have brides that have done all the things. Mm-hmm. They've eloped and are planning their same wedding next year. They have scaled it back to 20 people in their backyard. They have, I mean, it's just all across the board. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to talk a little bit about some scenarios of what we're dealing with and what we're seeing. So personally, I think the biggest one has been emotions. Mm-hmm. The emotions and disappointment of the family and the bride and groom to say, well, this isn't what I hoped, this isn't what I pictured. Maybe you guys could talk a little bit about any of your clients on the positive side of what they've turned a unfortunate situation that they weren't expecting to something that they are really looking forward to. You guys have any of those experiences?
I think focusing on creating a more intimate event is what we've really been trying to encourage these brides that are obviously very upset, and it is emotional to have to dwindle down your guest count, but where we've had some great conversations talking about, man, now this is our closest 20, 40 people that we could not, they've formed us to who we are, and we can make it so intimate and so special And that's kind of what I've really been trying to focus on with my clients.
I know I had one that was, the silver lining for her was the budget. She was like, wait a second, I'm going to be under budget? I don't need that many of all the items. When it comes to the sheer quantity of tables and chairs, food, all of the things. So she was really excited about that. And it actually opened up even some extra funds to do things that were maybe a little bit more exciting and more special. So her backdrop is a little bit more elaborate. Her place settings are a little bit more elaborate. Her, the centerpieces and all that, because it is an intimate dinner experience now instead of this huge crowd of 50. I think her guest count is probably about like 50, 52, don't tell anyone, but just hovering right on that mark. And so she's really focusing on the quality now, and even in the personalization of instead of like a monogram that typically brides have done in the past where they're putting their name on everything, instead they're able to customize and put the guest name on things. So, custom name cards, and, it's just been really fun to see when they're looking at the situation that might have seemed dire at the beginning, that they're really excited now of how they get to do that. So maybe, Gina, you could talk a little bit about the food and beverage side of things. I know that has been a tricky one.
Yeah. So every venue is doing something a little different, and that's kind of what we're seeing in this whole new situation of life, is that everyone kind of has their own spin on things. But some of the caterers that I've been working with are just letting us know that service is going to take a little bit longer, because they are being really careful about preparation, and that there's not as much of the availability to preset things. So talking about before guests sit down, we're not going to have filled water goblets and silverware at each place setting to make sure that there isn't contamination. So being prepared for, as guests sit down, we'll have to have a server come to them and ask them their beverage of choice, pour it as they're sitting there. Silverware, maybe it needs to be, if it can be preset, it needs to be wrapped. And then, as if we do a plated meal, that even also can look a little bit different, and just wanting couples to be aware that we need to increase our time on our timelines for that specialized service, and kind of posing it that way, that it's even more customized and more special. And think of a really upscale restaurant that your service takes a little bit longer, but you don't mind, because it's a really fancy experience.
And you have your closest people there, so they don't mind. They don't have somewhere better to be. This is what they've been looking forward to for months. So.
And I have seen some clients doing some really creative things with seating charts as well. So in terms of protecting the more vulnerable and or senior guests. And so they've been seating them in almost a separate area, but keeping them included in the party. And so we've done various ways by creating lounge seating for our senior guests. And, we phrase that in a lovely way. But I've even seen people coming around to just make sure that everybody feels comfortable and adjusting in those ways, which you can do when you have a smaller, more intimate guest count.
And along with that line of the guest count and the seating chart. So one thing that we've been doing quite a bit is just seating all of the same family together. So I know it's kind of a common practice when you're making your seating chart to mix and mingle your guests, so that you're like, oh, my college roommate would love to get to know my cousin, and that's not quite the luxury. But having your people that are already living together, that whole family unit can be seen together. So we're not as focused on making sure you have perfect groups of 8 and 10 like before. Smaller groups that are a little bit more separate. It absolutely works. What about venues and vendors? I feel like that has been probably the most difficult thing to negotiate.
Absolutely.
All of that. What do you, maybe talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So one thing that we are finding is that everybody is doing the best that they can and trying to come up with new and creative ways to serve our clients in the best way possible. And so one thing that I have noticed is that most people are really, really eager to just get together. So they're like, whatever we have to do. But we have to remember that vendors and or venues are required. They have certain protocols that they have to adhere to in order to be able to make the event work. And so we're having to just do a little bit more creative thinking and brainstorming about how we can make the experience amazing for all the guests, for the couple, and also for all the vendors, making sure that everyone is protected and everybody is doing what they need to do our part. And so one of those ways that we've just been kind of handling those conversations and making sure that everybody is on the same page is over communication at this point in the planning process is key. And then making sure that we're giving each other a lot of room, a lot of grace to kind of forge our way and move forward together, because we all are on your team. We all want to make this the best experience possible. And so we're just having to come up with different ways to do that. And so I am finding that vendor teams are much more communicative, which is so wonderful. I mean, we have been, but I think this has just stepped it up just a little bit more to make sure that we can provide the best experience in the safest way possible.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we are, I feel like more than ever, acting as a mediator almost, because sometimes the vendor is looking like they're the bad guy.
Sure.
And they're liable, so they're just doing their best to fulfill the requirements that have been set forth upon them. Yet the client is saying like, gosh, they're just being such sticklers, I'm not being flexible, do they even want my business? We can tell you they want your business. Yes. They are. We are elated to be doing events, even though they look a little different. I think it's just that balancing act of giving the client as much as we can without jeopardizing any of those licenses. So I think that one's been a little more than we expected, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Any other kind of topics that have come up? I know one thing we've been asked about quite a few times is dancing. Who wants to take a stab at that one?
Yeah. You know, one of the highlights of the later evening festivities, however, with the social distancing protocols in place, that has become a little bit more of a something that we need to think through. And so we have kind of tried to come up with some fun ways with couples so that people can still enjoy the dance floor, because it is a really fun time to celebrate. And so one of the ways that we have talked about doing that is just kind of coming up with a press statement. Okay, we want to make sure that the guests are aware that we are conscious that there are social distancing regulations in place, however, not overdoing it to the point to where people feel scared, right? So it's that fine balance. And so we came up with a way to enlarge the dance floor for an event, and then also because the floor automatically has almost squares, if you will, we have talked about doing just a little announcement at the beginning to say, hey, if your family unit, you stay in this amount of squares, and so on and so forth, just to kind of put a fun twist on it so that people feel like, oh, they're acknowledging, giving a nod to the requirements in place, however, still not killing the party, right? Because everyone wants to dance.
So true. Yeah, is there any other topics that you guys have felt like have been, well, I can say one thing that I've been asked a couple of different times is, well, I don't want to have my wedding because all of my guests won't be able to come. My grandma still won't feel comfortable coming, or, you know, so-and-so that's really important to me because of maybe a compromised immune system, or, you know, whatever the risk may be. Maybe can you talk a little bit about how we can include guests that aren't able to attend? You know, it's really a big conflict of the bride saying, like, well, I can't have my event if so-and-so's not here.
Absolutely.
But there's also so many things that go into that from the emotional standpoint, the legal standpoint, the financial standpoint of like, well, you've already planned a wedding, you put deposits down, you need to get married for, gosh, we hear it all the time, no one wants to ever say it, but like for insurance reasons. But to postpone an entire wedding because a couple people can't come, not saying that we would want to discount those people, but there are people that, you know, clients that do really need to proceed. How can we include other people that aren't, you know, able to attend the wedding?
Well, luckily with the internet, we have lots of options. I actually was on a Zoom meeting yesterday with a bride who her father isn't able to attend because of a compromised immune system. And we were trying to get so creative. And so one thing that we threw out, which we're still gonna need to tweak the thing, but we're going to have her dad on FaceTime, and we're going to attach the phone to something, I'm not sure what yet, but so that her dad can still walk her down the aisle. And, you know, he can see from the perspective as if he was really there. Other people can see his face, and she is so elated that there is some option for him to be there. And so that was one really fun idea. They're also, you know,
that's really more for like that person interacting the whole time too, which the interaction part is crucial, but there's probably, I mean, there's others that are wanting to like, well, I can't be there and I probably don't need that much attention. Maybe like your college roommate doesn't need, you know, a GoPro with on a tripod rolling it around the room and be like, oh, it's embarrassing. But yeah, we could, what about like the recording side of things that we could play those back or have like a still camera and live feed to the guests that can't attend.
Absolutely. So we have Valiant here locally who's doing live or recording live things of weddings. And they have a whole team and a whole setup that is capable and ready to do those things.
They have like an on-site and an off-site, which I think is really cool. So you can have, and you can even do a combination. So if it was just the two, you know, just the couple maybe wanted to get married, they could do that in their studio and then have a family viewing party somewhere else. If there's a compromising immune system or a situation with the couple, that they can be isolated. Or if it's the reverse, then they can stream that with professional equipment from wherever it is, the backyard to a venue.
There's also other online options. K Jewelers has created a whole virtual wedding platform through their website that I've had a couple clients looking into that it seemed from my experience thus far seems pretty similar to Zoom where you're creating an event and sending out the invitations and then it can be streamed, people are logging in. So there are lots of options out there where
a lot of them are free, which is the exciting part too.
Yes, so if there are those few people that can't come or whatever that looks like for each individual client, there are lots of options that are available, some free, some that you can pay for, but ways that people can still be included.
Right. We are printing a couple faces on some sticks that are coming to. It's the 60th surprise birthday party that we're having next weekend, but for a client, and they had some guests that wasn't able to attend. It's for 60-year-olds that, you know, there are a lot of people in the age group, and so there are going to be a couple of those that I had printed into those at one other time a couple years ago, but that's kind of a new one.
And we have seen a rise in people sending in pictures of family members who can't attend and maybe writing a little personalized note to the couple, so it's there and almost even a surprise to them when they arrive at the site. So that's been a fun little something that people are doing to just make sure that those personal touches are there, even if they're only connected by technology at this point. So it's been really special for couples.
Kind of touching on that same, the flip side of technology of the, you know, there is the live stream and that's, you know, really exciting, but there's also the part that I'm kind of most excited about for some of my couples is that they get to have this really beautiful, intimate gathering where they can spend all of their time. I mean, a typical wedding is from 5 until midnight. And it's just not a lot of time to touch base and really get enough face time with every single guest that's coming. So with 50 people, you really get that quality time with all your guests, and you're not as worried about, you know, who else is there and if you know, got to all your people and such. So doing a really quality recording of that and really great photos, and then being able to share that with the guests that weren't able to come. And I mean, people know that there has to be, there's like a first string and a second string, unfortunately, that we're dealing with now, that they weren't able to come to the event, but that they get to watch that or get to look at that slideshow on their own time. There's a couple of really great options for that too. And it's a really great keepsake for the couple, which, you know, not everyone really splurges on those things, but sometimes with that extra room in the budget, that's a really great way that we recommend using it. So perfect. Well, I think that's all of our time for all of our questions, or for my questions to you.
Thank you, ladies. That was great. Good information, great conversation. Really appreciate your time. And thanks for being part of the wedding show.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you.
So next up, we're going to be starting with tents and events. And we'll be right back with that. I said the wrong one. That's all right. Oh. Hi, Chelsea. Welcome. I just need you to unmute, it sounds like. And while she's doing that, we just want to thank our rental and decor room sponsor, Idaho Tents and Events. Without their help, this wouldn't be possible. But now I'm sorry, we have Chelsea. I did say Idaho Tents and Events was up next, but it's Chelsea with Silver Bells Lighting. Sorry for my mistake and welcome. One moment, Chelsea, you are muted. We just need you to unmute. Are you good now?
Hey. Am I good? Can you hear me?
You're good to go. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, and you know what? For some reason, I had you muted, so I couldn't hear anything that you just said for the last couple of minutes. So is it up? Are we going?
You're going, you're live. We're just giving you a shout out and a welcome. I just want to let all the brides know that we are recording all these sessions, so they will be available at a later date after the show, soon after, probably within the day or two. But for now, we're here with you and we wanted to say hello and let you have the floor.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us this afternoon. Hopefully you've been getting a lot of value out of attending and seeing all the different vendors today. So thanks again for coming. So I'm just going to kind of dive right in with a quick introduction of our company and myself, and then start showing you some fun pictures and things that we do so that you guys can really get a good feel for what we're all about. So my husband and I started Silver Bells about 5 years ago, and we do a variety of professional lighting services, with wedding and event lighting being one of those. And we've got a fantastic team of designers and installers that are loving being involved in the wedding industry and really love getting to work with all of our couples to help them create the perfect aesthetic with their lighting. So as far as what we do, we're a full service company. So as of right now, we're not doing lighting rentals or anything like that. We just do full service, where we provide the lighting, installation, removal. We have on-call staff during your event to make sure everything runs smoothly. We also spend quite a bit of time on the front end of things doing the design work with all of our brides. So I get a lot of people that come to us and say, hey, I know exactly what I want. Can you help me with the logistics side of it, handle the installation? You know, we're kind of going through making sure that we're coordinating power needs with the other vendors that are attending, making sure, you know, all the technical side of things is working. And then I have a lot of brides that come to me and they say, you know what, I don't know exactly what I want, but I have some ideas. Here's my Pinterest board. Here's my budget. What can we pull off? And we love that. We love when brides come to us with a variety of backgrounds and interest levels, desires, plans for their wedding, and we really get to dive in and get involved. So what I'm going to do first is jump in and I'm going to show you some pictures of a bunch of our projects. Some of them are going to be professional photos from events. A few of them are cell phone photos that I've snapped as we've been doing kind of behind the scenes stuff. So I'll just kind of give you an overview and some ideas of some of the things that we do, and also some of the helpful tips and tricks and things that we take into account as we're putting together your lighting design, so you can get a kind of a feel for the process and how we handle things. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and hopefully Hopefully this will work. There we go. Okay, so just skip right in here. One of the cool things that we get to do is custom design for all of our brides. Part of that is because we want to make sure that the experience for you is customized. I mean, this is your big day. It's super important that you're getting exactly what you want, that it's fitting your style, that, you know, it just looks exactly like what you're wanting for your big day. But also, with lighting, you know, there's different needs for different venues. If we're doing a backyard wedding, or we're doing, you know, something at any of the variety of venues here locally, or for some of our travel destinations that we handle, we really need to make sure that it's going to work with what you have going on. You know, we have to figure out where your power is. We have to figure out what kind of support systems, you know, if we're bringing in freestanding things, or if there's stuff that we can work with, all of that. So being able to have a vendor handling your lighting that can really take that custom approach and create what you need specific to you and your space is really important. That's something that we focus really heavily on. And it's nice because even if you are, you know, at a venue that's had hundreds of different weddings, you can still have something that's super customized to what you're needing. This is a fun setup that, you know, can be done in lots of different environments. We love, you know, the emphasis on the accent piece, the way that the lighting really brings out the texture of the brick wall behind. We've got another setup that we're doing in a couple of months at this particular venue, very similar to this setup, but the accent piece is going to be very customized to that bride and groom, and is something that is actually a very intimate home decor piece that they are going to have mounted on the wall there, and then we'll use the lighting to draw some attention to it. So that's one of my favorite parts of what we do, is just really being able to customize the setup for exactly what you're needing. Now, one of the other really important things about what we do is we really try to take into account not only the things that you need to accomplish on the aesthetic side of things, that's a big important part, but also a lot of weddings are going to have functional needs. So this particular setup was for a bride out at an outdoor venue that didn't have any lighting built in outside. So they really needed to be able to create a super cool space, super cool environment, but they also had, you know, some really important needs, like making sure that people could get to the restrooms, get to the parking lot at the end of the night, you know, that their dance floor and table areas had sufficient lighting. And so when we can come into a project like that and be able to put a design together that is going to take care of all of those functional needs, but be really, really pretty, that's awesome. We love to be able to do that and get an understanding of what it is that you're needing to accomplish on the functional side, you know, that can kind of kill two birds with one stone. So it's just a few more photos of that setup. Another really cool thing with lighting is, you know, indoor spaces and outdoor spaces can really be highlighted well with lighting. You know, a lot of times I get brides that think about lighting as more of an outdoor type of a need, but it actually can do some amazing things for indoor spaces as well. Lots of really cool ways to highlight that. This particular wedding, these last two pictures are from the same event. And they had a lot going on indoor, and they had a lot going on outdoor throughout the day, throughout the evening for their event. And so we really highlighted a lot of different areas for them. This is actually where they did their ceremony. I'll touch on this in a minute as well and point out a few things, but one feature that is super cool with lighting is its ability to really designate and highlight spaces. So this couple actually got married under this pergola. This was their ceremony space. And it was so cool to be able to draw attention to that. I mean, you can see in the picture, the landscaping at this venue is absolutely stunning. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous place. You know, but to add a little bit of extra twinkle in there and really draw attention to that focal point for them was really, really cool. And then another thing that a lot of brides, you know, when they're kind of putting their checklist together of things that they need to get figured out for their wedding, They tend to think a lot about lighting if they're doing some sort of an outdoor event and it's after dark. If they don't have their heart set on, you know, just twinkly lights in general, and that's not necessarily top of the list for their style, you know, sometimes the necessity of lighting after dark is what gets them to reach out to us. But I wanted to point out to you guys that lighting can actually look really fantastic during the daytime as well. So one thing that you'll find with lighting is if you can capture the lighting and make it look really good in a photo during the daytime, it's looking significantly more impressive there in person. Lighting during the daytime, you know, any of your photographers will tell you that can sometimes be a little bit tricky, but we have done a lot of events that actually are happening mid-afternoon, early evening during the summer when, you know, here in this area, the sun's not going down until 9 o'clock, 9:30. But we've been able to really add a lot to their photos, add a lot to the event, even when it's taking place, you know, well before it gets dark outside. And then you can see kind of the progression, you know, as it does get a little bit darker, you get a little bit brighter effect there. So that would be one thing to keep in mind. You know, even if your event isn't going till midnight, you're not partying till 2 a.m., lighting can still add some wow factor for you. And then another cool feature with lighting is it can be very elegant. You know, there are a lot of layouts that we do that are, they're real fancy, you know, they're very elegant. But we can also do a lot of things that are super fun. So this particular couple had a really awesome indoor setup, and we were able to do lighting for them along this gorgeous brick wall. And they used it in a lot of different ways for their event. So it ended up being the backdrop for their ceremony, but then they also used it, kind of repurposed this space later in the evening. And we actually did like a kind of a photo booth type setup for them. This is a photo that somebody just snapped with their cell phone, had it set up in like a little light ring setup that we did for them to be able to create this very low key, you know, type of photo setup. And so that was really fun. They really were able to capture more of that party vibe and use a very similar product. You know, you guys saw this light curtain setup with another another setup that was quite a bit more of like an elegant emphasis. And this one was super gorgeous, but very, very focused on the fun. I mean, you can even see these awesome ladies and their little headband props and things that they're wearing. And the lighting was just such a hit for this event. It was super fun to see that used in a different way. And then again, kind of back to defining spaces. So a lot of times we'll use lighting to be able to highlight specific uses. So this particular event was a backyard wedding, and this area, this is actually kind of partway through their setup. They added a lot. There was a lot more going on than just what you're seeing here. But this particular portion was kind of their central like socializing area, kind of their cocktail hour. They had all the drinks and bar area and everything set up under here. We also do a lot of lighting setups that go over dance floors, and we you know, have a variety of types of overhead lighting or backdrop lighting to create those types of spaces. And then it's also really popular for us to set the lighting up in a way that draws emphasis to things like your head table or your bar or whatever areas, you know, you really want to have highlighted and stand out. We can do a lot to make that happen with the lighting. All right, so these are some of those photos I mentioned that are just, you know, quick cell phone photos, as was the last one. But I wanted to just emphasize with you guys, one of the really cool things that lighting can do is it really can transform a space and create totally different vibes depending on what you're going for. So this was actually a styled shoot that we did, and we were playing around a little bit with just changing the colors of the lights in that backdrop. I wish that I had a picture to show you guys that showed the backdrop without the lighting. Super, super gorgeous. It actually matched the this cloth that's kind of used as a table runner here on the table. But when we added the lighting to it and did like a similar tone, it really just added so much texture that really shone through. The professional images that came back from this just looked amazing with that backlighting effect there. And then while we were doing this shoot, we kind of played around with some different colors. This is the exact same setup. All we did was change the colors of the lights to create some different effects that were kind of fun and a little bit different. So we really enjoy being able to do those kinds of things, you know, get a little bit creative. Now, I'm going to kind of shift gears in a little bit different direction here. One of those is just to mention that, you know, I've shown you some examples, a few photos of things that we do. It's definitely not everything that we do. So if you have some ideas, you can send me your Pinterest board and say, hey, Chelsea, this is kind of what I'm looking for. This is kind of the vibe I'm going for. I love that. I love that so much more even than saying, hey, we've done this exact setup at this exact venue and here it is. So if you see some things that are unique and out there and are wondering if we do it, call me and ask, because we're adding things to our setups and to our inventory all the time. This is actually a fun setup that we haven't done yet for a wedding, shockingly, but these bulbs are amazing. They're so fun. The Edison style glow is so fun. It's kind of hard to tell in this picture, but those larger bulbs, these ones here and these ones, they're massive. They're literally like the size of my head. They're super cool. So lots of fun things that we can do with those. We also have some additional setups and things like this pergola that has a variety of different options, things that we can do. So we've got a lot of ideas. We love to hear your ideas and be able to create those things for you guys as well. So I'm gonna get out of my screen share here. And there we go. Can you guys still see me? Okay, perfect. Thanks, Erin. So I wanted to talk just a little bit about some of the things that I tell our brides and our couples just in general when they very first meet with me. My hope is that whether you guys end up using us and needing us for your lighting or not, that you can kind of walk away from this with some added value as you're going into your wedding planning experience. So one of the best, most important things that I really try to share with our brides or people in general, you know, that are going through this wedding experience that can be amazing and so fun at sometimes and really overwhelming and stressful at others, is to try to figure out what you want that day to be like. What do you want the experience to be like? And plan the things that you do with your vendors accordingly. So one piece of advice, if you have some things that are needing to be done for your wedding, you know, lighting may be one example, but there are lots of others that need to be done the day of your event, or even, you know, within a day or two leading up to your event, where it's going to overlap with family and friends coming in from out of town and things like that going on. Hire that stuff out. You know, if you're one of those brides that's just like very DIY savvy, I totally get it. I'm the exact same way. It's hard for me sometimes to hand over the reins for certain types of things, but I promise you, you will be so happy to have those days, you know, with your friends and family, making memories instead of fussing over things like lighting. You know, if you can, if it's in your budget, if you're able to hire out for those specific types of things, do that. You know, make your centerpieces, you know, do a lot of that preparatory stuff that, you know, lets you get kind of your DIY vibe going, but can be done a month before your wedding. Like, run with that kind of stuff, but make it easy on yourself for the day of things. The other thing I would say is, as you're shopping for your vendors, go into it with a lot of intention as far as what you're wanting to accomplish. Try to think about it from the standpoint of what level of value and what type of experience are you desiring, and then hire your vendors accordingly. So for example, again, specific to lighting, you know, if the experience that you're looking for is like designing your layout, saying, I need, you know, 200 feet of lights and this is the exact layout, and we figured out the logistics and we've made sure that we're going to be able to run power cords there and they're not going to be a tripping hazard, and you've like worked out all the details, and literally all you need is, you know, to call and say, hey, what's the price on this? Cool. And if that's what you're seeking, that's great. There are a lot of awesome vendors in the area to help you with that. If you're looking for somebody that's going to come in and get super involved, meet you out at your venue, do a walkthrough, help you with the design side of things, sit down and spend a lot of time working through that planning process, not design process, and then taking all the headache and hassle away, you know, doing everything start to finish for you. those two experiences, one is not necessarily better than the other, but they are different. And there are different vendors that are going to be really well suited to meet your needs in both of those ways. We can accommodate both. We love to help with both. Again, whatever level of experience you need. So don't feel like when you call me, you have to know exactly what you're looking for and have a plan and all of that. When we get to be creative, that's one of our favorite things. The other little piece of advice I would say is photography. You know, it's totally out of my space, but we see a lot of overlap. One cool thing with lighting is when you do it the right way and you use the right products, it can photograph beautifully. When you have the right photographer that knows how to photograph lighting, it can photograph beautifully. So if that's something that you're putting a lot of time into planning, you're putting a lot of money in your budget toward, make sure that that's factoring in, you know, as you're collaborating with some of your other vendors and getting those things figured out. Yeah, just make sure they know that it's a focus, make sure that they know that that's something that's important to you, so that can be captured. So Erin, do we have any questions popping up? I'm kind of to the point of like, we can wing it from here and go in whatever direction anybody's wanting.
No, this was great. Yeah, there are no questions. I think you did a great presentation to explain all of your talents with lighting. It was beautiful to watch. And with that, we're kind of out of time, but
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Silver Bells Lighting and Chelsea, thank you. And have a great day. We'll be following up with recordings to all attendees. So thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. All right, we are ready for our 2:40 start. It's Idaho Tents and Events. Idaho Tents and Events is a great support. They are the sponsor of our breakout room for rentals and decor and have done so much to make this happen. And for that, we're truly grateful. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Idaho Tents and Events. I think you need to unmute. There you go.
All right. All right, here we go. So hi, everybody. My name is Russ James. My wife, Bree, and I own Idaho Tents and Events, and we're super excited that you have all come and are hanging out with us virtually today. I know with the governor's phased opening, he now opened phase 4, which that's good hope for all of us trying to do events, and all of you hopefully trying to have your weddings still here in 2020. We know that a lot of you probably have had to pivot a little bit and adjust according to the coronavirus and all the things that have gone on. But as an event company, we've really been trying hard to think of ways to still allow people to have their special events and their weddings and keep social distancing in mind and safety in mind. So anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to go through a few of the things that we offer as a rental company. We're located here in Garden City, Chinden and 39th. So feel free to stop by. This is our design center back behind me with some of our items that we offer. And I'm going to go through and show you some pictures of some of the tenting and the lighting and things that we offer. And then Bree's going to follow up with some of the other rental items. All right. So first off, this is one of our most popular tents. This is called a Tidewater tent. And this has a sailcloth type fabric, which is translucent, meaning that you can see the light through it from the outside. So it's super cool in the day, but even more magical at night. This tent has wood-like poles, so they have an appearance of wood all the way around the perimeter, around the center pole, giving it a very rustic look that really works well in mountain areas such as McCall, Sun Valley, places like that. On this next slide, you'll see what it looks like from outside. So this is one of my favorite parts of the Tidewater tent. If you look at it from the outside, you can see the lighting glow and really get a feeling for how magical this whole thing is. Next up, these are what our frame tents look like. Frame tents are probably one of the most popular tents. They've been around for a long time. These come in sizes from 10 by 10 all the way up to 65 by 130. So we have a lot of different options for that. And if you can see on the top left picture, there's a tent with 2 clear panels and another one with all solid panels. So we can mix and match that. We can have a complete tent that's clear, which I'll show you some pictures of some cool lighting we've done in that, or you can have it completely covered. So everything's very customized. Nothing is cookie cutter, but these are just some fun options that other people have done that we got to take some pictures of. Another style of tent that's really unique is that would be our high peak festival tents. And these come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. And they also have a neat translucent top on some of them. You can see the translucent strip, which allows you to see the lighting from the outside. And these come in different shapes. You can get them in a square, rectangle, triangle, diamond, and even a hexagon. So putting all those different sizes together and shapes together, you can really make a cool layout for your guests. This slide shows you what a tent liner looks like. So a tent liner is basically an elegant white draping that goes inside of your tent, covers up your poles and your cables, and allows you to have a very elegant flowing ceiling look that is super cool, especially when the breeze comes rippling through. It actually ripples through the draping the whole length of the tent. So this picture shows a bunch of our farm tables with crossback chairs. It's a really, really neat look. Event lighting. So we do a lot of different things for event lighting. Bistro lights, as you can see on the left there, these bistro lights we set up over a dance floor, and they are completely freestanding from the pole. So we're not actually attached to anything except for the cabin that's kind of behind the picture. And we actually hung 50 strands of bistro lights over this dance floor to create this effect. In the top right, you'll see some uplighting, and uplighting can basically be set to any color. So if you have certain theme colors for your wedding, we can definitely make your tent match that theme, which is super cool, especially as it starts to get darker in the evening. I talked to you about the clear tent earlier. So this is a picture of a 40 by 80 clear top. And in this particular wedding, our client wanted us to set up twinkle lights inside the tent. So we actually set up 12,000 individual lights, obviously on strands, inside this tent. And it was quite the sight to see, very, very magical. And then here's another picture of the inside, get you a good idea of what it looked inside. It was kind of took your breath away when you're standing inside. So a very cool option there. And we can do this in several different sizes. As far as chairs and seating, we have lots of different options for chairs and seating. Up along the top row, we have our crossback chair, which has been a really, really popular chair, and followed by our chivaris. And then in the top right corner, you will see our, you will see our bentwood chair. And our bentwood, our whitewash bentwood, this is one of our new offerings. And it definitely combines the rustic look of the crossback with a new whitewashed farm style appearance. So anyways, that one's a really cool chair that we're really excited to offer. We think you guys will really like it too. Down on the bottom row, we have our padded folding chairs. And in the middle there at the bottom is our newest addition. It would be a black resin folding chair. And this one goes with pretty much any decor scheme or setup. So we're really excited to have those. All right, next up, we have some different chairs and seating options as well. The top, you can see these are kind of like sofas and chairs that you'd see in a conference center or in a business. And then on the bottom, we have these new white sofas and chairs. And they're actually very unique in that they're made of resin, which is kind of like a plastic. They come with pads. And the unique thing about these is A, they're really comfortable, but B, they're completely weatherproof. So you can leave them out in the rain or in the sun and don't have to worry about them getting damaged. So we're really excited about those. All right, so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the time over to Bree, who's gonna talk about some of our other offerings that we have.
Great. Great. Thank you so much, Russ. Well, thank you again for joining us today virtually on this gloomy day. I hope you guys are at home warm and enjoying the virtual wedding show so far. We really appreciate you tuning in. So first of all, I just want to talk about the elephant in the room. Many of you had attended the fall and winter wedding shows and had all of your plans put together for the wedding of your dreams, and then COVID hit. And that's been, like Russ said, a pivotal point for everybody. Everybody has to kind of change their plans, involve social distancing in their planning, as well as some of you might have had to completely reschedule your weddings altogether for 2021, and some of you are still having 2020 weddings. So we were just trying to put together some items for you to help you think about when you're planning your wedding now for either this year or next, with keeping some of that COVID in mind. So the first thing I wanted to mention was your venue. An outdoor space is a great option right now for a venue, or a large indoor space where you have enough room for social distancing. You want to make sure that you have enough room for your tables to be 6 feet apart. To keep that in mind, you can also expand your tent size. You can expand your rooms in the venue if possible. There's lots of options to help expand the space that you're going to be utilizing. You can also use smaller tables. So most brides use a 5-foot round table for their dining area. You can go to a 4-foot. You can put 4 guests per table, which would allow for not only spacing distance between the tables, but also your guests. So those are a couple things that you can do as far as your venue itself. Something else to consider right now is dancing. So we usually recommend for a party of 100 guests, a 12 by 12 or a 16 by 16 dance floor. But you could also expand that up to a 20 by 20. So you can still dance, you can still celebrate with your guests and have a great time at your wedding, but you don't have to not have a dance floor at all. Please do consider just expanding that dance floor size in the space. Other things to consider would be, are you going to have a buffet line? Are you going to have a plated dinner? If you guys have tuned into the caterers or the cake sessions today, they talked a lot about different ways that they're preparing food, that they are pre-packaging items, that you can also still be utilizing all of the plates and chargers and fancy glassware that you'd like to have. You just need to make sure that you're being careful with the passing of the dishes and things like that. So it's definitely still possible to do. So now that we've talked about the COVID and different ways to social distance, we want to talk about the fun stuff. So we are in our design center today. As you can see, we have behind me a lot of our different options for plateware, flatware, chairs. And I wanted to kind of go over some of our brand new items that we are going to be carrying this year. So first of all, I'll step back here and we'll talk about the bent wood. So this is our bent wood. Like Russ said, it is our newest offering, and it is a whitewashed chair with a really rounded back. So it does have a modern yet rustic feel, which is great to match with either a modern wedding, a rustic wedding. It's very versatile. We are actually running a special on this chair right now, since it's a brand new chair that we have in our stock. So if you book now through the end of June, you will get this chair for $2 off. So it'll be $6. It'll be the same as our Chiavari chairs. So book this chair now and get that great deal. Some of our other new items that we're carrying would be different flatware. So there's a lot of trends going on right now with the gold flatware. So we did invest in the Orenzo. So we have a gold brushed Orenzo, and they're very heavy metal flatware, which is great for any type of event really, but especially a wedding. It's a showstopper piece. They're modern yet elegant. And they also come in a stainless steel option if gold is not your color for this year. We also have a new glassware set. So we are now carrying the Pure glassware. So Pure has a very nice sharp edge at the bottom. It's very elegant and formal, but it's also really modern and chic. So we carry this in a champagne flute, a water goblet, as well as a wine glass. If you look over to the side here, we have our selection of linens. So we recently invested in a lot of new linen styles and specialty linens. So we carry everything from the common Vortex linen, which is just your basic linen, into our specialty. So we've got a lot of different styles that you can come into the showroom and check out and design the table with. We also have 15 chargers now. So we used to only carry 2 charger styles, and we wanted to expand and bring you more options when it comes to the chargers that you're utilizing on your dinner tables. So if you look behind me, we have 15 different chargers now that you can come in and check out. The table that I'm presenting on is actually a design table. So the design center is not just a showroom anymore. It's not just to come in and just see what we have. We want you to come in and really design and play and try everything out. So you're welcome to come in at any time and set up the table, pick your linen, pick your charger, your plate, your glassware, your flatware. You can bring in your own centerpieces as well and set up the table. Really have fun with it. Before I go, I wanted to talk a little bit more about some specials that we have. So we do have a champagne wall, which is really fun. If you haven't seen it at the other wedding shows that we did, it's a living champagne wall, and it's usually $5.95. And right now we're running a special for $200 off that champagne wall. So if you want to have a really memorable, interactive element at your wedding, it's a great option. So you can definitely stop by and we'll set it up for you and show you how that works. We're also running a luxury tent deal. So right now we are running a special on any tent that's over a 40 by 40. We're going to include free leg drapes on. So we'll cover up those tent poles with you with some elegant leg draping. Lastly, if you are tuning in today and you're watching our session on the virtual wedding show and you call and you mention that you saw us, we are going to be doing free 1-hour planning sessions on site at your venue, your home, or your location of choice. That'll include a customized layout and package specific to what you're looking for. So make sure you give us a call and get on our schedule for that. It's picking up pretty quick. So again, you can see us on our showroom, or our design center, I should say, at 3900 West Chinden Boulevard. You can also give us a call at 208-559-2771 and find us at boisepartyrentals.com. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and turn it over for any questions that we have.
Thanks, Bree. Russ, that was great. No questions right now. We will, as I told the guests, we will be recording all these sessions, and all of our vendors' information will be on the event schedule for anyone's access. But that was great, great services and products. And again, we want to thank Idaho Tents and Events for everything you did to support this program. It was a true effort that you put in, and we appreciate all your help.
You're welcome. We hope everybody really enjoyed this. And to all the brides out there, your wedding doesn't have to not be the wedding of your dreams. It can still be everything that you ever hoped for. As people, we're resilient. As people, and brides especially, we kind of have to learn to roll with the punches, even in the most perfect wedding day that you've planned years and years for without COVID or anything else. There's going to be something that goes wrong. So I think that people who have been getting engaged and planning weddings, or who had planned on having a wedding in May and didn't get to, it's just another sign of your resilience and your strength and your excitement. And we just would love to help you make that dream still come true. And just know that we're here to support you. And in any questions that you have, feel free to give us a call. And we're excited for you. And we're all going to get past this together. We're in it together. And we wanted to just, again, thank IBL Events for helping us pull this off today. It was something that's never been done before. So to all the brides that joined us, thank you for your support. And we really look forward to helping make your dreams come true.
Well said, Bree. We do want to thank all of the brides and wish them well on their future plans. And all these great vendors and services are such a resource. So to everyone, have a great day. Our recordings will come soon. And we thank everyone for their time.
Thanks, Erin.
Bye.